When couples are going through a divorce and they have children in common, one of the things that I want to make you aware of is that some of the events that happen during your marriage and perhaps even before your marriage may be used against you during your divorce action. And so, a lot of times when you are in a relationship, you get to experience some things with the other spouse. And some of those things might be drinking together. And you may have gotten used to seeing your spouse just pass out on the couch after a party, or maybe taking a couple of drinks before they go off to work. And some of these behaviors may have been things that you've seen that you've just gotten used to. You've gotten used to the drinks. You've gotten used to seeing your spouse after work, take a blunt or some marijuana out in the backyard and have a few puffs with some of his or her close friends. And you probably were out there with them and experiencing the vibe, the good vibes after work. However, when you are fighting for custody, these are the things that your spouse or significant other are going to use against you. You can be confident in getting a complaint for custody and seeing that your spouse has referenced those type of behaviors that I just mentioned. Or perhaps you had a moment during the marriage where you got upset with your kids and you lost your temper, and you may have said some things that you regret, used some profanity with your children, or spanked them in a way that may have left some marks, and you were very angry. Well, it may have happened only once. However, your spouse, when you are going through a custody battle, is going to reference that moment. And the reason that is being done is to show that you are an unfit parent, especially if they are seeking sole legal custody, or if they want that child or your children to be living with them. Then they are going to make sure to paint a picture of you being a monster. And so there are things that you can do to change the narrative, and we can talk about those things in a few minutes. But I just want you to be aware that yes, there are some things that may have happened in the past that can and will or may be used against you. So what do you do? What do you do if you have an issue with alcohol or marijuana? What do you do if there are times where you do lose your anger? Well, one of the things that you need to do is to do something about it. And what I mean is get the counseling that is needed. If you struggle with alcohol, substance abuse, then you may want to consider getting a drug and alcohol evaluation and do any of the recommended treatment that you receive. But doing nothing hurts you. In addition, doing nothing doesn't mean that a judge might not require you to do those things in the future in order for you to have visitation or have the type of custody that you are seeking. And so, again, there are things that you need to expect, because this is a battle when you decide, or your partner decides, that the arrangement, the status quo that existed is no longer working. And so when that happens, everybody takes off their gloves. But what you need to do is be prepared and take action in the ways that I mentioned and recommended. Hopefully this information will help you in your situation. Have a great day, and thank you for listening.